Hi, Parenting with Winnie friends. So glad that I can be here once again. I apologize for not uploading the video because, like you can hear, I've been having a cold. That is the only reason. So my throat was so sore. Anyhow, so nice to see you once again. So nice to have new subscribers. I actually realized that as I get more subscribers, the more I research more because I feel like, oh yeah, I'm growing. So thank you so much, the people that recommend these videos. Thank you so much, the parents that come back to me with comments and questions. And actually, today's topic is not like my own idea. So thank you. It keeps us going and keeps us talk about parenting, the unpopular journey. So this time we're going to be talking about parenting boys. I'm not a boy. I've never been a boy. So I cannot pause here and say, oh, fathers, this is how you're supposed to be bringing up your sons. But I'm just going to be using information that is research based from experience, from books, as an educator. So that is the information that I'm going to be basing on, and I hope you find it really helpful. So, what do boys need, and how are we supposed to be parenting boys? Should boys be parented different from girls? I think so, yes. Some could be the same, but some things are particularly more important to boys than they might be for girls. Some might just be the same, like we're going to see when the time comes for looking at parenting girls. But now, let us look at parenting boys. So, what do we need and how do we move forward? One, as we talk about parenting boys, we need to know that today they're boys, but one time they're going to become men. Therefore, our next topic might be transitioning our boys from being boys to being men so that we don't have boys that are stagnant. So, today we're looking at what we need now for the boys. One, boys need male role models in their lives. Like they need to see men model maleness. If I would use my other language, they need to see positive masculinity. They need the right men in their lives modeling how to be a great man, a great husband, a great father, a great citizen. Number two, our boys need to be prayed for. They need male figures that are going to lay their hands on them and pray over them. They need mothers that are going to be intentional and know that I'm going to declare this blessing upon my child and it shall come to pass. If we go to the Bible, we see that Solomon was prayed for. No wonder he's called like the only person we see that was so full of wisdom in the Bible is him. When we talk about wisdom, we talk about Solomon. He was a prayed for child. Look through the Bible, so many generations of prayed for sons. So our sons need to be prayed for. They need to be laid hands on. It's so sad that we don't have so many fathers at home praying with these sons, being priests, being guiding their sons. It's so unfortunate. The greatest thing would be having fathers in their homes praying, leading prayer, reading scriptures, like leading on everything so that they know that this is what being a male really means. Boys need rules and regulations. They need to know that when you do this, this happens. They need someone to set for them rules. They are not there to just bump into things. They need to know that there's a way things are done and not done. That way you're preparing them for real life. Boys need to have responsibilities that are challenging, responsibilities that make them feel strong. They appreciate being strong than being weak. As mothers, sometimes, as a mother, uh, I might, how can I say it? Like keep them as a baby for some time because I want to kiss them. I want to kiss away the pain when they fall. I want this. Oh, don't let him climb. He's going to hurt. But we realize that when we don't give them really good challenges, sometimes they take up the wrong challenges and end up wrong men, or sometimes they're stuck into being boys and then they never transition into men. Now, that's a topic for another time, transitioning. So I'm not going to go that side. But our boys need challenges. Boys have a lot of energy, and therefore we encourage play outside. Allow them to go outside and burn their energy. Don't confine them inside houses. They need to jump and fall. They need to climb. They need some assault. They need all those crazy things that we see them doing. Then afterwards, you can say, okay, let's read a book because their energy is spent and they're tired. Then they can listen. Otherwise, when you keep them confined, that's when you find the cups are broken, the words are broken because they're trying to explore, but they don't have the right environment. So we encourage that we have outdoor activities and allow them use, we call them loose parts, like the things outside there to create. I mean, we grew up, I think people of my generation know that um, boys used to make cars from so many things. They would model, they would do so many things. We did too. We made our own things as girls, and boys made their own things. But now, when you keep buying for them toys that are already made, they never explore their energy of creating. So, boys need to be let out, like free them, let them be out there. Um, you might be here and you're saying, or when you're talking about um, male role models and mentors, you're talking about things of, but things have changed. I know things have changed. We don't have an ideal family that has mommy, daddy, all intentionally parenting. We either have one or one is not there, one is absent, one doesn't care, one doesn't know how to. But now we're saying, can we become intentional? And being intentional means if I know that my boy doesn't have a father that is always available, I should be able to know that I can identify someone else, maybe a pastor, maybe a friend, maybe an uncle, maybe. There's an example about of this woman who was parenting alone, and then one day her son gets expelled, and she calls her grandfather because she had intentionally lived with her grandfather so that they could help her uh, bring up this young boy. You know, sometimes being a parent is so nice until they add ing, and then it becomes like, oh, is it becoming a doing word? So she calls the dad and says, oh, can you help me pick him up? He's been suspended. And then the boy goes, the father goes and asks him, so what did you do? He says, oh, they were trying to bully this child and I hit them. And I think there was police and what, and then he, the grandpa asked, "Is that all, son?" The boy said yes, and the grandfather affirmed that he had done well. And then he was told, "The next time you say that, you're going to be arrested." And he looks at the boy and he says, "Son, if I be arrested because of that, that's okay." I think today the young man is in the Navy and he says, I still remember that statement. That is the importance of having the right men that are speaking the right words into our sons' lives. So let's try to identify who those men are. And then on the mother's side, teach your children to respect their dad and never make their dad your point of conversation, especially when you're saying, oh, your dad did wrong, your dad is doing this, he's never does that, you know, he's done this. You're supposed to teach them to respect him. A story is told by one of my best authors about a mother who used to tell their son about his dad. Like, see, your dad did this. There were actually two boys. Your dad did this, your dad did this, your dad did this, your dad. So when the two boys grew up, they never got married. And then research asked why. They said they were scared of becoming husbands because of who they knew, the words they had been told by their mama. So it is wrong. Mothers need to teach children, sons, to respect their fathers. As boys grow, sometimes as mothers, we might never understand what is taking place. Sometimes I don't. What helps me is that I read his books, and then sometimes I'm like, okay, I'll just step back and let him take the lead. And honestly, it's one thing that has helped me, reading his parenting books. And one of his favorite is called Fathers and Sons. If you're a father out there and you read, go pick that copy, come back and tell me what you think. It's a great book. I've seen him read it and I've read it too. So there are stages in life where you reach as a mother and you're like, what has happened to my son? Yeah. Sometimes you just have to let him now become his dad's son because they understand the things and you don't. There's again this story about a mother. So it is this boy, he's in college, and he has a project of working on a car, developing a car or building a car or constructing a car. I don't know the term. So he's doing that, and then one day the father asks him, "Oh, son, how far with your project?" Because they're all excited about it, that he was chosen for that project. And then the boy tells the dad, "Oh, yeah, dad, I'm on suspension." And the mother just hears that, storms into the room and says, "How dare you be on suspension? The college has trusted you to do such a beautiful project and you're on suspension and you talk about it like it's okay. What did you do anyway to be suspended?" The father and the son are looking at each other and looking at the mother, and they're not understanding. And she's looking at both and she's not understanding. And then after she's the boy looks at her and says, "Oh, mom, suspension is part of the project. It's like car suspension, it's part of the car." She walks to the kitchen. And I'm like, oh, that would have been me. So sometimes we won't understand what they're doing, and that's okay. Let's trust the process and let's trust those men because they're better at making men than us. Um, I read something that I love that says that as a dad, when you have played your role, then your son is not going to give up on himself because he won't want to give up on you. But that is if you've played your role. So, dad, go play your role. Your son won't give up on you. Go pray over them, go bless them, and set the right environment. And one day, you're going to become a grandpa, and they're going to be talking about your triumphs. The same thing with you, mama. Pray for them, bless them, and guess what? One day you're going to testify that that was a prayed for generation of boys. Thank you. See you next time. I hope you find this helpful. Let me know. Bye.